Chip and Dale have been added to Disney Melee Mania, and in this video we'll be going over their characters and how they work, and showing you some reasons why they are currently the worst characters in Melee Mania. My name is Circle, and let's start off by going over their stats. So starting off with the stats that it shows with the little icons, the diamonds, it says they have 4 out of 5 strength, 1 out of 5 health, and 5 out of 5 speed, which sounds like it could be a more powerful but with less health Timon, basically, since Timon only has 3 strength out of 5, but has 2 health out of 5 and 5 speed out of 5. But then when you click on the stats, Timon actually has 20 less health than Chip and Dale, which is really strange. It's not gonna really affect anything. If one person has Chip and Dale and one person has Timon and they hit each other for the same damage, it's not gonna make any difference. They're probably gonna die at the same time. But it's still a bit weird that Chip and Dale would have 20 more health, but then say that they have less health. But then when it comes to more damage, I am pretty sure that they don't. Based on their stats, they actually deal a lot less damage. To put this in perspective, Chip and Dale, their boomerang deals 400 damage twice, which isn't a lot of damage because you have to hit them twice to get 800 damage, while Timon's, you deal about 400 to 600 damage in 3 swipes. Alright, editing Circle here. I just want to clarify on this last bit. So Timon's damage per second is about 400. It's something like 395 or something similar to that. But it's about 400 damage every single second he's attacking somebody, while Chip and Dale only do about 210. So that's what I'm talking about here. So we'll head back to the video now. And the damage per second is super duper low with Chip and Dale, and you just can't really deal that much damage with their base attack. You can die to Sentinels if you have less than 1/3 of your health. If you have half your health, you're going to get pretty low. If you have 1/3 or less health, then you are probably going to die to a Sentinel, even if you hit every single boomerang throw, which is 4 hits. That should deal 18 to 1,600 damage technically, but it definitely does not. I'd say it's probably about 200 damage per hit, and you have to hit them then 4 times with both boomerangs. So that's 2 hits per boomerang. It has to go out and back in, which is just absolutely absurd, especially when fighting any sort of player. Even when you have 3 players lined up, since you can hit them all, it's still not dealing that much damage, which is crazy. And overall, just their main attack is really bad and not very effective, and really in the end makes them one of the weakest characters, if not the weakest character in all of Melee Mania. And we haven't even gotten to the ability and the ultimate. So the ability says that it should deal 120 to 710 damage twice, which my guess is when you hit the person with the crossbow plunger. But it's just, you don't move faster, first of all, so it's not really a dash. You walk at the same speed. I have video of it too. And then you don't really deal that much knockback damage, anything. It's better than some of the other things, especially the boomerang throw. It does deal more damage than that, but like, if you're using that and there's like basically any other character, you're probably still gonna die. Probably. If you play with them right, you can still kill other players of any type, but it's so much harder, and as long as the other players have any idea what they're doing, you're going to lose, and that just makes their characters so much harder to use. The ultimate deals 150 to 800 damage twice, which is based on a circle. When you use the ultimate, you launch forward with a rocket, and then it spins around in a circle, and you can see the circle radius of where it deals damage. The closer to the center, the more damage. The farther out, the less damage. And basically, it's super easy to get out of, and then you can't move it, so it just kind of sits there and you're stuck. At least you're invincible to damage then, which is kind of nice, but it's not really that useful. And I'm pretty sure early on, when they first came out with the event, bots wouldn't even pathfind to your player, so they just start running off as soon as you use your ultimate, so that you wouldn't even be able to hit bots that are running straight at you, or players, or anything. So it's just basically useless, and the damage overall, even if they're standing in the middle, is okay at best. And seeing as their health is pretty low, it's on the lower side, that's not useful at all. So it's basically like having Timon, but with none of the good things with Timon, and replace them with different attacks, abilities, and ultimates that just don't work at all and are very, very bad. It's just not working well. I like the idea of the character with the boomerang and the crossbow and the rocket. They're all interesting and unique, especially since these are technically 2 characters, but in one. It's really interesting, and I was very excited for it, especially after seeing the base stats, the 4 out of 5, 1 out of 5, and 5 out of 5 in strength, health, and speed respectively. But it's not that at all. If I was gonna give these stats, it'd probably be a 1 out of 5 strength, maybe 2 out of 5, a 2 out of 5 health, and a 5 out of 5 speed, which is the lowest and the worst stats out of any character there is, which is just horrible. And even if you are a master at using Chip and Dale, in the end, it's just gonna be okay. And I think they could fix this. They just need to damage. If the damage was much higher, along with making the boomerang only be 1 fast boomerang instead of 2, because that's just completely, like, super uncontrollable. So if they made it where it's 1 fast boomerang and then had the plunger crossbow be faster than your movement, and also either deal knockback, or it currently does a stun for so little time that it barely matters. But if that was a little bit longer, or it dealt knockback, or both, then that would be better. And then the final attack, if you could like move around with it, like if you could guide the rocket around instead of it going uncontrollably, if you could guide it around to follow people, kind of like the Panda Rage that Mainland Lee has, but instead of dealing knockback, it deals damage, that would be good. Along with maybe lowering their health by 70 or something like that, so it's not anything too crazy, but it is then less, and just make their damage much more powerful. Because I think if you had a character like this that's pretty fast, well, it's the fastest you can be without a speed boost, and then have pretty low health, some of the lowest health, but then deal a ton of damage, that would be really, really cool, especially when it has 2 characters in one. But hopefully they do fix this.